These are the top 10 worst things Iron Man has ever done. My name is AJ with Top 10 Nerd. Let's get right into it. At number 10 is the Extremis 3.0 virus in Superior Iron Man. So you know Scarlet Witch, right? She accidentally messed with everybody's heads, swapping the good guys and bad guys' moral codes, which caused all kinds of chaos with the superheroes committing crimes, and folks like Carnage hilariously failing to be good. Now Iron Man got hit with this ray, but being the evil mastermind that he's now become, he managed to maintain his evil persona when everybody else got reverted, and kept all his evil streaks under wraps. Then in 2015, Stark introduced this game-changing app, Extremis 3.0, in San Francisco. This app is like a total, I don't even know if you could call it an app. It's basically a makeover for your physical appearance in real life, allowing folks to appear in real life however they saw fit, and people were hyped. But wait for it, Stark actually went full schemer mode, and he gave everybody a taste of the goods, and then he dropped the bombshell. Hey, this is actually gonna be $99.99 per day to use this. Kind of a sneaky move. But it gets worse. Stark even gave Daredevil brain damage to prevent him from revealing this evil secret. I mean, that's kind of messed up. At number 9 is Kidnapping Ulysses. We'll get into the OG Civil War in a moment, but for now, let's break down the events of Civil War II. It's all because there's this dude named Ulysses Kane who suddenly gets the power to predict what's gonna happen in the future. Captain Marvel and her gang think they should use this power to stop crimes before they happen, but Iron Man is not into that. So what's he do? He straight up kidnaps Ulysses. Now hold up, Iron Man thought he was doing the right thing, but it set off a huge fight between him and Captain Marvel's crew. They're at each other's throats about free will and destiny and stuff. Even if you kind of see where Iron Man was coming from, his way of handling things caused a heck of a lot of trouble. If you're enjoying this video so far, please support the channel by pressing like, subscribing to Top 10 Nerd, and ringing that notification bell. Next up on our list is faking his own funeral. In 1983's Iron Man number 169, Tony Stark battled a big problem: substance use. His drinking got so bad that he handed over his suit to his friend Jim's Rhodey Rhodes, letting him take over the Iron Man role. Then things got even wilder in Iron Man 284 when it looked like Tony bit the dust and Rhodey took over as the head of Stark Enterprises. But here's the kicker: Tony wasn't actually unalived. He faked it. He secretly put himself on ice, healing while everybody thought he was gone for good. When Rhodey found out, it was like a punch to the gut. Imagine thinking your buddy is gone forever only to learn they've been hiding out. Trust took a nosedive. Rhodey felt stabbed in the back because Tony kept him in the dark about being alive and kicking. At number 7, in cahoots with Kang. Back in 95, in a storyline called The Crossing, Tony Stark, our Iron Man, went rogue big time. He dropped the bombshell revealing he'd been secretly teaming up with Kang this entire time. Things got messy. Iron Man then took out some Avengers, like he actually ended the lives of Yellow Jacket and Gilgamesh. So to fix this crazy situation, the Avengers did some time traveling shenanigans and they fetched a younger Tony Stark to fight his older corrupted self. It was an intense showdown with the older Stark almost wiping out his younger version, but ultimately the old one sacrificed himself, paving the way for the younger one to step up as the new Iron Man. Now Marvel later retconned the story, saying it was actually Immortus pretending to be Kang, and then they merged the older and younger Starks together, trying to sweep this whole mess under the rug, and just acting like fans were gonna forget the whole thing happened, but I didn't. At number 6 is Civil War, as promised. Tony really stirred the pot with this one. So here's the lowdown. Imagine the governments want all the superheroes to sign up officially like a job application. Captain America, the symbol of freedom, was like, no way. Well, Iron Man was like, sure thing, bureaucrat buddies. Now picture this: Iron Man leads a team that captures rebellious heroes who refuse to sign up and basically sends them to superhero prison. He even pressured Spider-Man to reveal his true identity to the world, which is a big deal in the superhero biz. Spidey later had to fix it by making a sketchy deal with Mephisto that wiped away MJ's entire relationship with him, kind of like they did in the movies. Anyways, but the real kicker here was that Iron Man made a fake Thor clone that ended up squashing Goliath, a fellow hero. By the end, Iron Man seemed more like the bad guy than the hero of this event. The Civil War was a total disaster. At number 5, he exiled the Hulk. Back in 06, Iron Man was part of a group called the Illuminati. They decided it was a solid plan to send the Hulk off into space because, well, Hulk has a habit of wrecking stuff. They tricked him into thinking he was headed to an uninhabited planet, but surprise, he ended up on a different planet, became a big shot ruler there, and then the entire planet went kaboom. Iron Man was one of the masterminds behind this. Now the Hulk got real angry about being manipulated, and when he eventually came back to Earth, he was all about payback. Real mess, and it was all Iron Man's doing. At number 4 is Armor Wars. In 87, a big kerfuffle unfolded in the Iron Man comic series known as Armor Wars, when Tony Stark found out that baddies had swiped his armor blueprints. Fearing that the bad guys might misuse his tech, Stark went on a hunt. He targeted anyone using similar power suits and wrecked the Stark tech in their gear. But things got messy real quick. He kicked this off by attacking Stingray, a dude backed by the government. That ticked off the US government, making them order Stark to shut down Iron Man. So Stark had to fire himself as Iron Man. But he didn't stop there. He duked it out with S.H.I.E.L.D, even tangled with Captain America, then going by Captain. Yeah, not even fellow heroes were safe from his rampage. At number 3 is all of Stark Industries. Tony made a lot of money by creating weapons that ended up causing harm and chaos. He was even directly responsible for hurting a lot of people. Now in the movies, they showed this cool story where he gets injured by his own weapons and then decides to stop making them. But in the original comics, things went down a bit differently. See, in the comics, Stark didn't stop making weapons right after he got his whole beam. No, he kept at it for a while, even after the Vietnam War ended. He did stop at times, but then he went back onto it later on. So even though he tried to redeem himself by being Iron Man, he still had a past where he made loads of money from that stuff that hurt others. This is a big deal, considering that he made his fortune from things that caused so much harm. At number 2 is Steel Corpse. So there was this crazy crossover scenario from the Age of X comics where Iron Man goes from hero to a pretty terrible dude. In this alternate reality, Tony Stark is infected by a virus which merges his suit with his physical body. That's when things start to go south real quick, as he becomes the Steel Corpse, this mutant hunting evil version of himself. Now here's the kicker. When he eventually tries to change his ways and stop hurting all these mutants, his suit actually turns against him, because, you know, he can't really distinguish himself from it. The suit starts taking mutants out on his own, and Tony's totally freaked out. Ultimately, he even begs Captain America to put an end to him because he's just completely lost control. Now, what's super messed up is that this attempt at redemption comes way too late. Iron Man, or whatever you want to call him in this grim reality, was way beyond saving at that point. It's a dark twist for a character we usually see as a hero. So, shows you how things can go haywire in alternate realities, huh? Speaking of which, at number 1 is Emperor Stark. This alternate Tony was elected Emperor of the planet Earth for life, making him quite literally the most powerful person on Earth. Although from the outside, it may seem like this reluctant hero was given the mantle with a heavy and humble heart, in reality, it was Tony's plan all along to assume dominance as the undisputed monarch of Earth, as he engineered the very threats that forced the world to yield their power over to him. First, he secretly orchestrated the mutant war simply in an attempt to thin out the world's superhuman population, with Captain America and Mr. Fantastic among the defeated and deceased. So after betraying his race and secretly helping the mutants win the war for the promise of co-dominating the planet alongside Magneto, he then went and betrayed Magneto too, making this double-crossing double-crosser the hero of the conflict. But according to Tony, soldiers don't make good leaders. So his ascension to power truly began during the Great Famine, when a powerful virus, which was secretly developed by Stark Industries, not unlike the mad cow disease, left most animals unfit for human consumption. And within a year of the outbreak, a new strain of fungal rot, also secretly developed by Stark, devastated half the world's wheat population, and millions of lives were lost to famine. Until Tony came out a year later with vaccines and countermeasures that would earn him a Nobel Prize and eventually lead to his presidential candidacy after winning the election by a landslide with the highest popular and electoral vote in history. And once he developed the tech to control weather and seismic activity to cause natural disasters of biblical proportions while simultaneously pulling some strings to cause some economic collapse, he got the other nations of the world to yield their power to him voluntarily. In the end, all he had to do was stage a battle with Dr. Doom, which completely leveled Washington, D.C., wiping from the face of the earth nearly every federally elected representative, the entire Supreme Court, and along with them, America's democratic system, making Evil Tony here one of the most formidable beings to ever dominate the world. Oh, right, and I guess his cape ain't too shabby either. He's got this cool Dr. Doom looking outfit, so I mean, that might redeem him a little bit, but all the rest of the stuff, definitely not. As always, if there's an awful thing Iron Man did that you think I've missed, feel free to let me know down in the comments, and maybe, just maybe, I'll include your suggestion in the next iteration of this list. This has been AJ with Top 10 Nerd, and I'll catch you all in another video. Peace out, nerds.